In a world of limitless opportunities and countless challenges, the choices we make manifest themselves into the very roads that guide us. And the tribulations and triumphs that shape, weather, and bind these paths together are the very essence of what makes the world such a beautifully strange place. But we walk our path with no map, in search of answers that nobody has, simply hoping that we don't get lost along the way. So maybe just sharing our story of where we come from and the things that have guided us along the way can be enough to guide those lost in their own path.
I'm Zach Bonanza, and this is the Lost Guidance Podcast. That's right.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, wow, welcome. Welcome to the fourth episode of the Lost Guidance Podcast. As you know, I'm Zach Bonanza, joined by my good buddy, John Cilbrith.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up, man? So as I've been trying to get the theme across here every episode is I like to look for people who have stories and instances of something in their life that is guiding them through something, whether it be from start to finish or something that they're passionate about now. And in this instance, we're going to be talking a little bit about sports and how they guide us. And I know you've been hugely motivated by football your whole life.
Yes.
So you got a pretty interesting story about that. And it's led you to even, still continuing following the sport and the passion of it. And so I was just hoping maybe we can get into a little bit of how you started out and how that took you to eventually. Now John is a part of the Disruption Network, a good local area media network. He discusses football on the regular, and we can get into that. So I guess basically what started your drive of the love of football and ultimately one of the worst organizations, the Chicago Bears.
Oh, Jesus. Fucking brutal. All right. So basically, I mean, my love of football goes all the way back to when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. We used to play Sandlot at Lincoln Park. Our team name was the Lincoln Park Vandals.
Oh, right.
And, we would play against South Utica and East Utica and other
How
teams
old were
in West
you
Utica.
at this time?
Teenager.
Okay.
Not too old. Playing that, we were really competitive. I've always had a competitive drive. Mm-hmm. So that just fueled the fire.
Right.
And then ninth grade, 15 years old, that blossomed into playing 1 year in high school. It was a JV.
Okay.
So, and then did pretty good. It started a few games. I played D tackle.
Oh, nice.
I was starting D tackle for a couple of games. It was weird. I was small, but I was fast.
Right.
And I could break through the
Khalil
line.
Mack type.
And then I was like second or third string center. So. Or let's see, second string guard, third string center, something like that. So not really an O-line, just because my size.
But potentially you could be an O-lineman.
Yeah. Ninth grade was that. Then 10th grade, I went through the worst part of football is the two-a-days for the first 2 weeks.
Yep.
I made it through that. I'm like, sweet, all right. And then I got a girlfriend.
Oh, so you just changed priorities?
At that, yes, priorities changed from football to pussy and beer.
Oh.
So I quit. And that had bothered me all through high school and into my adulthood. I don't know why. It just stuck with me. I'm like, I've never fucking quit anything.
Because you love something and you just drop it quick.
So,
we've all had our minds straight by pussy and beer, dude.
I know. I don't regret it. Just because of what unfolded afterwards, I don't regret it anymore.
Right.
So it is what it is. I had a ball in high school.
Yeah.
I don't care.
But you always are left thinking what could have been kind of situation.
Not
in the
anymore.
Football career.
No, actually, no, I don't.
Because
there's with my size, I don't even ever think or have any delusional dreams of ever having gone to college to play ball or anything like that.
So But you told me before that you did end up making it into semi-pro, right?
Yes. So,
Okay.
well, that's where I'm going with
Yeah,
this.
so
Is
how did
where
that-
it all,
So you came back.
So I'm 25 years old. I'm overweight, big time. I'm just a fat blob. And I'm taking a whiz in what was Knuckleheads on Riscony Boulevard in Whitesboro.
Okay, yeah.
And there's a flyer for the local semi-pro football team. And drunk Cilbrith goes, I'm going to do that. Well, once I get my mindset to something, that's it.
Yeah.
So now, we work at the same company.
Yeah.
You don't remember this, but we used to have a gym there.
Oh, okay.
I hit that gym, right? And I was losing weight. I was bulking up. And, so that when I saw that flyer was probably in like October, November.
Okay.
That's when recruiting starts.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right, this doesn't start. I make the phone call. Find out it doesn't start till spring. So I'm like, all right, I got
time.
5-6 months to get
Yeah,
ready.
Yeah.
So I hit that gym. I bust through it. I'm maxed on all the machines. So now I'm like, I need a gym membership. So I talk a buddy into mine playing football with me.
Mm-hmm.
And or maybe he maybe he was in on the beginning. Anyways, that doesn't matter.
Something.
I'm looking good. He's a Marine, or not a Marine.
So you guys are like helping each
Yeah,
other.
he's
bulk
in
up
the
and get
military.
ready. Yeah.
So he helps me out, gets me in better shape, and I went into training camp in great shape. So this is 2000.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm 25, going to be 26.
What was the competition like? Because it's basically just people off the street. If there's just flyers.
Exactly. That's right. There's just
so you
flyers.
wanted to have the advantage.
This is guys with more high school experience than I had.
Mm-hmm.
This is guys with college experience.
Mm-hmm.
And there are guys that were in the league that I found out that had played in NFL and just got cut.
Damn.
So
what was the team name?
the Mohawk Valley Vikings.
Mohawk Valley Vikings. Okay.
Yeah. They were around for 2 years before I joined. So I joined the third year of that
Okay.
franchise.
Are they still around?
They are not.
Okay.
But we can. That's
the
yeah. Well,
All right.
wait. That's later in the next. We got 2 hours.
Oh yeah.
That's why I'm like, dude, this is a long story.
Yeah,
It really is. So I make it to training camp, and you're sizing up the competition, and that's exactly what it is. You're all fighting for a job now.
Yeah.
So it's fucking work mode. You're busting your ass, you're sweating your balls off, trying to show what you got.
Right.
Guys are puking.
Yeah.
Because
now you're all around the same age and everything. Everybody's like,
well, that's
this
the
is my
thing.
chance
You're
to do
dealing.
football again.
I'm 25. There's 18-year-olds there. There's guys in their late 30s. So it's all over range of people, range of experience. I've got 9th grade football and Sandlot.
Yeah.
But a heart
Passion.
Oh, dude.
You wanted it.
It got me through.
That's why you came back. You went to the gym and started working out.
Yeah.
And brought yourself
Yep.
back and
Oh yeah. No,
came
I
into it
lost
with an edge.
I lost like 25 pounds.
Wow, nice.
I fucking solidified the fat into muscle at this point. It was great.
That's awesome.
So just pure determination is what did. I didn't want to look like an asshole.
Yeah.
You'd
be like, I don't want to be the biggest loser there.
Yeah.
Or,
Right. So. And I wasn't one of the guys puking, so that was good.
Yeah, nice, man. So how long was the training camp?
So training camp goes on. It basically goes right up until the first game.
Mm-hmm.
So back then, the first game was in July.
So wait, was everybody already on the team? You were all
basically the way semi-pro works is you pay a fee to join, and you're on the team.
Oh wow.
There's 2 practices a week, and it all depends on the coach on who plays. It's not CYO where everybody gets a turn.
Right.
It's the best athletes
play.
So
they're watching everybody while they're training and everything, regardless. And they're figuring it out. Okay.
So the best people play.
Yeah.
And that's it. And unless you don't go to practice, then that coach at the time, if he didn't play if he didn't go to practice.
Good.
So and the occasional guy did, and then he would get an earful.
Hey, I guess if you're at that point in your life and you're doing something like you're reaching out and you're making the effort to go play semi-pro, you want somebody who's giving you that tough love.
Right.
You want the experience. That's what football is.
Everybody's
grind and it's motivation and
everybody's got families. Everybody's got a job.
Right.
Everybody would rather be doing something. I get it. I understood it. I hated it because I was putting 100% into it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But as I got older, I understood it more.
So how much? What did you start at? I should say.
So basically, like a couple weeks in, head coach goes to me, "Can you snap a football?" Sure, I can.
Yeah.
I hadn't snapped a fucking football since high school.
You were second string center or something. You said,
you
right?
know. So I started snapping, and I won the starting job there. And I was so eager to please that a couple weeks later he's like, "Can you long snap?" Sure, I can long snap.
Sure, I can.
Dude, I lined up, snapped it, and went thunk, 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 thunk. It just rolled along the ground.
Oh, man.
I was so mad and so embarrassed. So at that point, I went. I looked up how to do it online. Thank you, Patrick Manley, Chicago Bear, had his own website.
Yeah.
Even in 2000, internet is only 6 years old at this point. But Patrick Manley had a website on how to teach long snap.
That's crazy.
So I taught myself how to long snap. I set up a pole in the backyard I would snap to. I set up a square on my garage I would snap into.
Really?
Yeah. I got so good. See, again, determination.
Yeah.
It's what do you want to accomplish?
Absolutely.
I got so good at long snapping. Somebody would set a beer can on the edge of a pool.
And
I would snap it,
snipe it
from an extra 5 yards away. Normally it's 12 yards. I'd go like 17 to 20, and I'd snipe that fucking beer can.
Nice.
I got really good.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
That's what you needed to do. That's so awesome that it was motivating enough to you to. You're like, I'm going to make something of myself on this team if I'm going to put in the effort.
Yeah, I never did anything half-assed.
Yeah.
I still don't.
And that's. You don't see that a lot today. A lot of people are quick to give up. It always seems like there's so many obstacles and everything like that.
Yeah.
So
if you can't win, don't try kind of mentality.
Yeah, exactly, man. And so that's what I mean. That's like
bullshit.
An underlying theme. Yeah, I should have said that. You caught me on the trip up. I meant it's easy for people to give up, and that's like one of the underlying themes I wanted for this show is like people who can come on. And you just had this. You're like, man, I love football in high school. I'm going back to it, and I'm not going to half-ass it. And here you are. So, how long did he immediately give you the option? Like, were you right then and there the long snapper?
No. I had to earn it because there were other guys who could do it.
Right.
But I had to earn that as well.
What's the proper technique? You got to like point it down and.
There's guys who hold it two hands. There's guys who prop it up with one hand like this, and I was two hands underneath and launch it. Put a little spin on it. And,
okay.
There's different ways of doing it.
All
so
right.
It's really hard to describe
I
on
would
a
not,
podcast.
Yeah, I would not know. I would not know.
Well,
I got a football behind me in the closet.
Basically, I ended up starting, beat out two guys
Nice.
to earn center, and it was because I kept going to practice.
How late into the season is that?
The season started in July and it went into October, but I was starter from the get-go.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I made second All-Stars.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was pretty good. And the guy who beat me first All-Star was
Explain
good.
what that is for people. There are people who watch this, I'm sure, won't know football that well.
Well, basically, everybody in the league, all the teams vote on other players that aren't on their team at each position, and then they tally the votes. And
so it's like a team of the best, basically. So and then you have like first and second string. So
yeah. There was the first All-Stars, second All-Stars, and
Right.
third All-Stars, and then honorable mention.
Right.
I made so basically I played 4 years. I played hurt as hell. Popped a couple of discs and
Damn.
sprained both of my knees at one point. But I still played.
Yeah. Tough to write out.
That's playing like that, playing for the love, still going to work every day to support your family. That's where I don't get where athletes are coming from today. But we're not here to discuss that.
No, I get what you mean, man. When did you know that this was something that you're not going to give up at? Because somebody coming out, like you said, you were overweight and it was just some benign thought, and all of a sudden you decided, no, it's something that I actually am. Obviously, you've been a passionate football fan your whole life, the Bears. But did you know right off the bat, as soon as you saw that flyer, that, man, I'm going to do this and I'm going to be as great as I can at it?
I knew I was going to do it. I didn't have any second thoughts or regrets or anything. I'm like, I just set my heart on it. And then, that was it. It was just like a switch.
Yeah.
And normally when somebody gets drunk and makes a decision by the next morning,
it's a bad one.
Yeah, they're like, I was drunk.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But no, I had made up my fucking. I'm
That's
tired of I'm tired of living with that 10th grade mistake.
Yeah.
And I'm going to rectify it. So I did. I ended up playing 4 years, made All-Stars 3 of them.
That's awesome. That's so admirable.
You know,
like, wow. I mean, that's got to be something innate in you. You know, I think each of us has something that if you kind of just reach inside, like you know, I don't know why, but even just starting this podcast, one day I just dove down the rabbit hole, and I'm not stopping now.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think there's positive things that will come out of something. If you feel it inside you, it's something that's, like you said, you flip the switch and you just become really passionate about it. You can't let that die out.
It's something you want to do. Do it.
Yeah, absolutely. People
it.
are so quick to just quit on shit these days, man. It's crazy. People will be like, oh, I liked it, but like, I don't know, it could be anything, like drawing, you know? Like, I liked it, but there's so many other good drawers out there, you know? Just do it. Get better.
Shit. Somebody
practice.
might like your technique over theirs.
Work hard.
Everybody's got their niche, and somebody might like it, you know? So just do it.
Yeah. It could be that, even in your instance, say those other two long snappers did it a different technique. You had your freaking two-handed spin job right there.
Right.
And, you know, it works because you never quit.
It's just practice.
Yeah.
Practice.
That's
You
it.
will get better at it. You know, I tell my kids, I'm not good at that. You're not now.
Yeah.
But keep at it.
I know.
Keep it. Don't stop. Don't stop. When you think about stopping, do it more.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it is.
A big one is, like, I feel like music and art as well, because like my brother, you know, you have little kids, they bang on instruments. You're like, all right, that's kind of annoying because you don't know what they're doing, but you can't squash that dream entirely. You got to encourage them, like, oh, that sounds good, you know, like things like that, you know. So like my brother's kid comes over and I found myself, he's, you know, playing on my piano out there, and I'm like, all right, come on, like it's just the same note a million times, and I'm like, all right, like we get the idea. Does that sound good to you, kind of thing? But then I'm like, oh, I know that sounds good, but you got to remind yourself that you can't, even if somebody is just starting out at something, you got to be, even if it sucks, you got to give them positivity, and that goes for anybody, not just kids. You know, you gotta put support behind people, and that's probably an instance of your story here where you had your family behind you, and everybody was giving you the support, and you know, you need that.
Well, the ex-wife was behind me at the start. You know, she helped me memorize my plays. She would ask me, you know, I'd set it up so she'd have to quiz me, and I would tell her, you know, she'd say, okay, on this play, what do you do? And I memorized all the offensive line positions.
Awesome.
You know, so that way,
from not having much experience,
I would know what everybody on my next to me is doing. So there's not a question. Well, you know, why did I fucking run into you?
Really? Yeah.
It wasn't me.
Right.
It's your fault. You were supposed to do this, you know? It got so, I was so good at that in the huddle, we'd all hear the play. I'd see 4 eyes looking at me. What do I do?
Really? You're like the unmarked captain.
4 sets of eyes.
Wow.
You know, the other 4 linemen looking at me. What am I doing? Zone left, you assholes.
You're like, all right, let me draw it out. That's awesome, man. That's captain material.
Yeah, well, that's what the center is. He's the captain of the O line.
Right.
So, you know, I took to that role easily.
Yeah.
So
you were coming up, making all the calls, calling out, and everything.
Well,
you know.
Well, on certain plays, I would have to. Yeah, yeah. You know, we'd get a cage call. It would be up to me whether we pulled the cage as a center and a guard.
Yeah.
Crisscross kind of block.
Yeah.
And it was up to me whether we zoned it or called the cage.
Okay.
And I loved running the cage because I'd always catch the guard not paying attention, and I fucking blast him. Oh man,
those are satisfying moments. I mean, I only played up to like what do you call it, modified, you know, and that's, again, I also have feelings like, you know, I should have went a little farther. I should have absorbed as much of the experience as I could while I was in peak physical condition. Right. And, you know, these goddamn Coors Lights ain't doing me any good.
You're still in shape. Circle's a shape.
Hey, yeah, you know, I'm more of a plum or a pear or something. But yeah, I know that feeling of when you pull. I was a lineman as well, just like a guard, but that was like second string anyway. I wasn't great, you know, but I accept that. And but that feeling, man, when you blind someone and they're protected, you know, you're not going to actually do any damage, and you just lay someone out, and
they're just on the ground going, what the fuck
it's
just
a
happened?
physical conquer.
Yeah.
Like I invaded that beach in Normandy right there.
Football is the perfect sport for a competitive person like me because
Absolutely.
it's one-on-one battles the whole game. It's like you know, chess match after chess match after chess match. You just every time you line up, it's a new game.
Yeah,
it was great.
And a lot of people don't understand like the intricacies of it, like we were just mentioning. Like especially a center, your play calling, you're reacting to people pressing down on you. Like you have a lot going on,
Yep.
and people are obviously always acknowledging the highlights of the wide receivers, the running backs, all those astounding plays. But that's all starts at the line.
None of that happens
Yeah.
if I decide to pull an Olay and just let somebody through.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've got to block. This guy. I've got to read that blitz if it's coming.
Yeah.
There's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, or say, two guys coming at you at once. Well, how am I going to handle this situation so that the play I know is going behind me? How can I direct the traffic? It is a lot. And it's not a job built for everybody. So it's kind of awesome that you stepped right into that role and were so good at it.
I mean, some of those guys were so big. I mean, I'd face 6'7" guys. One guy was, what was he? 7 foot tall, 420 pounds. Just picked me up and set me aside. My feet are dangling.
Wow. Like taking a little kid off their, out of their high chair.
So basically, at that point, what was a guy who's 5'9" with cleats on?
Oh my God.
What does he do? Well, you have to tackle him at that point. Do what you can to make sure he doesn't make the play.
Just hang around his ankle.
It's just dude. One time I got called for holding because I was literally hugging the guy. This guy was so big. Another big guy. I was hugging his leg. And he's walking with me.
Don't you get away from me.
Get back here.
Man, which is funny because you're like two grown men at this age.
Yep.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah,
man.
it was some really great times. I made friends for life. I am so glad.
That's awesome.
I made that mental decision to switch. To make up for that mistake.
Yeah,
in 9th grade.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
So.
Like I said, a lot of people could have quit easily, or a lot of people, I'm sure, like myself, stew in those kinds of feelings. Like, man, I wish I did that before, and man, I don't know if there'd ever be a chance to go back. But you saw an opportunity present itself, and you took it. And
regret sucks.
Yeah, it
really does.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So I think that's a good message as well for this podcast.
So I played for 4 years, and then I got into coaching, and I started off as O-line coach, just a natural transition.
For that same team?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, same team. So they were around for a few more years. Basically same coaching staff. So I started up as a O-line coach. Then in 2006. I decided I'm going to take a little break. So I helped him out in just to get him through training camp, which is basically like the first 6 practices or whatever. So I got him through that, and then I stepped back. And then maybe that was 2007. I don't remember. Anyway, so no, it wasn't 2000. 2007. So 2008, the team gets bought out by the Utica Yard Dogs.
Okay.
So this is where they get me back into coaching, and now I'm D-line coach.
For the Yard Dogs?
For the Yard Dogs.
Okay.
So I get my first taste of defense. And again, a natural transition, O-line to D-line, because I know what O-linemen are looking for. Now I've got to make it better on defense.
Yeah.
So I did that for a couple of years. And so 2008 was the Yard Dogs. 2009 was the Rome Rampage because the Yard Dogs folded. And so this is the funny thing with semi-pro. It's just you don't go into it thinking you're going to make money because you're not. Your goal is to break even. Right. Which I found out in 2009, the team goes 0-7 and folds. Doesn't it's a 10-game season. So 2010. At this point, now I'm on the committee to start another team. And I'm like, all right. So my buddy puts all the paperwork in. He's the owner, right? And he's going to be the head coach as well. I'm going to be defensive coordinator. So now I had to get totally trained on how to call plays and whatnot. So I'm brand new, fresh out of the box. Yeah, learning how to cook.
There's a lot of transitions in a short period of time too.
Even though I coached for 2004 to 2010, I've coached for 6 years at this point, right? Yeah, wasn't really an X's and O's guy yet. Yeah, until I had a few sit down meetings, and especially a big one where we all got together and we decided to, just basically coach me how to coach. And right there, it just like that.
You just
like
picked
a
up right on it?
Damn switch. It's like, oh, this is easy. This is fun. At that point, I bought myself a whiteboard and I'm drawing all stuff. Dude, that's why do you think I got a whiteboard in my office? Because it's not because of fucking work. It's because if I get an idea in my head, I got to draw it out and I got to see it play out on fucking football plays. To this day, I still make up football plays in my office.
That's awesome.
I mean, and I haven't coached in fucking 4 years.
But you're like from the Water Boy, the coach there with the big green book, man. You're just stockpiling these plays. That's awesome. That's so crazy that you could think on it on such a technical level. And it just all. What do you think it was that just kind of turned the switch? What was the difference? Who was coaching you on this stuff?
My buddy Dale.
Okay.
He was the owner and going to be the head coach now. He was the former defensive coordinator.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
From before. So
you said that.
So I don't really remember, how or why it clicked, but it just did.
Yeah.
So again, I just put my head to it, and fully immersed myself into it. Now at this point, I got divorced back in 2003, so I'm on with Lynette at this point now.
Okay.
So
she was all for it.
Yeah. So this is in my garage. No, she's dealt with it. She was awesome throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
She dealt with a lot of crap that my ex-wife couldn't handle. I mean, that's what I got divorced basically because of football.
Yeah.
Really. Plus, Lynette's awesome.
Yeah, Lynette is awesome. Yeah, she is. So literally, you were just so passionate about it and didn't want to quit, and she was just kind of it wasn't supporting.
Well, it was.
If you don't want to get into it, obviously.
I'd like to see the one of the benefits of semi-pro football is the partying.
Yeah.
And that was still a priority.
Yeah.
I love hanging out with my friends and drinking beer. I can't not. It's one of the best things of life.
Yeah, man. It's a good time, and especially this time you're back in the sport that you love, and you're doing well. Things are going well, and even though you're going through all these mergers, you're learning a lot, and you're like, it's absorbing. Especially like I said, something that you're passionate about. Now you're like, man, I'm coaching and I'm getting freaking good at it. I want to see where this plays out.
Yeah. Well, so now here comes where the big curveball comes in, and this is another one of those: do I quit or do we forge on moments? 2 to 3 weeks into training camp
for Rome Rampage.
Now we're the Oneida County Titans at this point. So
okay,
2010
so
Rome Rampage folded. Right. So Mohawk Valley Vikings.
Okay.
Utica Yard Dogs. Rome Rampage. Now we're the Oneida County Titans.
Okay.
All right. 2010, and 2 to 3 weeks in, my buddy Dale, he's basically got back trouble. And he can't stand for any amount of time. So he makes a decision to step down as head coach. We're like, what the hell do we do? Me and the offensive coordinator are like, what the fuck are we gonna? We don't have a head coach. We're both. The offensive coordinator is never coordinated before. I've never coordinated before. We're two rookie coordinators who need his guidance. And he's like, yeah, I'm done. He goes, if you guys want to still run the team, you can. But I got to step down.
Man.
He goes, I'll hand off all the business to you. It'll still be in my name, but you guys will run it.
Yeah. Okay.
Holy shit. So we basically
co-head
sat down.
Coach?
We decided on co-head coaches, and we were going to go forward. So we had to, at that point, get the practice fields all locked down under our name, because now everything, all paperwork switches. That's it.
Yeah. So everything's up in the air at the moment.
Everything. We don't have a practice field. We don't have a game field. We don't have.
So you have like 6 weeks to figure this out.
We still didn't even pick out a defense yet, because we weren't sure what our roster was going to be.
Right.
I was toying with. I'm watching film on 3-5-3 at this point.
Yeah.
And we're going between a 3-5-3 and a 3-4. So guys are asking for playbooks, and I like to be as ready as possible, but I'm like, guys, we don't know our roster yet. We've got to figure it out. So right now we're just doing drills and seeing what kind of players we have, what kind of conditioning they have for the first couple of weeks. And it was very, very stressful.
I can imagine.
For a couple of weeks, and and it's just one of those things. You just put your mind to it. Mm-hmm. You focus. We took, and that's the thing. We didn't stress ourselves. We took one problem at a time. All right, you take this. I'll take this. I'll get back to you later today. All right, boom, that's done. What do we got next? Okay, this, and we got through it. It was like, holy shit, dude,
Damn.
we got a field, we got a game field, we got a practice field.
That's a lot to get
We
done.
switched over phone numbers, and yep, we got everything done. And then the playbook came along. We decided on a 3-4, and I'm so glad I did. That year, the 2010 year, was probably my favorite year to coach ever, just because of the adversity there, and a lot of the players, because they got tired of from the previous years, they got tired of the teams folding.
Yeah.
So they went on to play in other towns.
Okay.
So we basically had all new players, guys that I've never coached before, never worked with.
Man, so the cards are stacked
Yeah.
against
Oh
you.
yeah. So we're going in, and I and a bunch of guys had never played football before. So it was. I love coaching guys who have never played before, because now I've got a clean slate. They don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I'm telling them my technique.
Yeah.
So now I know I'm going to get what I'm asking for. And dude, I couldn't ask for a better group of guys.
That's awesome.
They say that I was a great coach. Bullshit. I had great players. I really did. They made me look good just because they listened to my dream and put it in execution.
They believed in you.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm all about scheme. It's not my defense. It never was. It was that defense. That playbook was created by so many fucking people.
Yeah.
That there's no way in the world I could take credit for it. I'd be.
But you helped facilitate it for sure,
Yeah,
man.
yes. Oh,
and
yeah.
honestly, if I were looking at the story like you're laying it out now, and I was a player on that team, like, man, this guy came from team after team after team. You're sticking with it. You're working your way up from center, who was working for a job, all the way up to O-line coordinator, D-line coordinator, defensive coordinator, co-head coach. Now you're helping write the playbook, and you're facilitating all this. You're nailing the fields down. You're getting everything done. You got all this shit dropped on you. Everything was against you, and you're still coming in every day, and you're giving it your all. I would definitely absolutely believe in you too, man.
It was very stressful, but that's the thing. When we were totally open with the guys with what was going on. So us getting through it, I believe, helped them believe in us.
Yeah.
And it was they were so polite. I mean, I had guys, yes, coach, yes, sir.
That's awesome.
It was so great.
It's mutual respect as well, That's awesome, and that's one of the things that a team like that builds too. So.
And the way the league was that year was there was a couple of really dominant teams, but all the other teams after that were really bad.
Yeah.
So one of our games, and I got to tell this side story. One of our games got pushed back.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
I'm thirsty.
Oh yeah.
I want a beer. What about you?
I'll take one.
You want a beer?
I think it's from training day.
It's been so long since I've had a Coors, but this is pretty good.
The stubby bottles do something with it. Maybe it just makes me feel like an old town moonshiner or something. All right, continue. Sorry.
So right now, the top 4 teams made the playoffs.
Okay.
You're
in the top 4.
We're actually like number 5 at this point.
Big.
So one of our games got moved, and the only makeup date we could have was Labor Day weekend. So it's a holiday weekend.
Right.
And we've got to play the Cortland Bulldogs.
Okay.
In their place. And we get down, they come out and score like 2 quick touchdowns. We're down 13-0. And, we were down a couple of players. Anyways, so we only got 2 wins at this point. We have to win to overstep Cortland to get into the playoffs. So this is basically our playoff game. And we get down 13 points right off the bat. And, we're playing mostly man defense because they're 4 wide. And we got pretty fast corners. So,
yeah.
I wasn't too worried about that, but the quarterback's mobile. So halftime comes up, and I'm like, all right, adjustments. I'm going, talk with my coaches, and we make, we want to cut off the side that the quarterback's rolling to. So I put my strongest lineman, the strongest play on our team, I say, at D end on that side. So he can push up and get in that quarterback's face.
Yeah.
Then we go to his zone. So now that quarterback has to be accurate. He has to throw to a spot.
Yeah.
Instead of to a person.
Yeah.
And so then I'm blitzing in his face, and I'm putting pressure in his face, and I'm blitzing off the weak side now.
Okay.
So he's always running for his life.
Yeah, and then trying to pinpoint.
So it worked out great. We won the game.
Nice.
You know,
What was the final?
I made those three simple adjustments. Just go to a zone, put my strongest D lineman here, and blitz on the weak side. And I don't remember the score, but dude, that was my first water bath. That game, it was, I actually cried. I told the guys,
awesome.
I'm so proud of you guys.
That's so awesome, man.
It was very emotional.
So were you it take you like the first half to kind of really study and you just tagged these guys perfectly and made those proper adjustments? How did you know, like, it just came to you?
Well, no, we had played them already at our place earlier in the year.
So you were recognizing
we won 9-0 the first game.
Mm-hmm.
So, we knew what they ran. We knew what we were in for.
Yeah.
But he was on point. The quarterback was on point the first half. He really was. He made some great deep throws, and my corners were just getting burnt. So we were lucky to only be down 13. Our offense played great. A couple of big plays kept us in it. Mm-hmm. It could have easily been 4 touchdowns.
That's awesome.
So that's probably my highlight moment of my coaching career.
Yeah.
Just because it's we stuck with it. We didn't give up. Away.
Mm-hmm.
And we squeaked into the playoffs.
That's awesome, man. How'd you do in the playoffs following it?
We lost in Jamestown. Close game by like 7.
Okay.
We were up at half. And the referees, I got my first penalty that year that game because we sacked the quarterback and he threw it as he's going down.
Yeah.
He throws it and it goes backwards.
Yeah.
God damn it goes backwards. Referee, no, that was a forward pass. I kicked the garbage bin and yelled, "You fucking cheaters!"
Wow.
Flag comes out.
Oh no.
I get the penalty, 15 yards. So I go, that's it. So we're the only team in the league with headsets. This is where my genius comes in.
Oh no. Oh boy. Here we go.
Yeah. So I'm on the fucking microphone. Oh, you guys! I'm telling my middle linebacker. I'm like, all right, these guys aren't getting a fucking first down. That's it. So we're stopping this. And I call 3 great plays. They go 3 and out after that. They get nothing. But they had a 4-wide offense. They played really well. So yeah, they got us by 7. But we had that game.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah.
So. Was that your...
So that's 2010.
Yeah, okay.
That's not it. So then 2011, the guy who ran the Utica Yard Dogs the first time comes back around and says, I want to try my hand at football again. Now, I had heard stories about him, don't trust him and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, I didn't have to deal. I was only assistant coach. I didn't barely anything with the old owner.
Mm-hmm.
I never said hi to him, so... we bought in, and so he got the team. Utica Yard Dogs are back. Same coaching staff. Basically, 90% of my players, 95% of the players from 2010 followed us in 2011. And
from Oneida now to the Utica Yard
Yes,
Dogs.
right. So, and this guy, he can really market.
Okay.
He markets. I recruit, and one of the recruiting. I love recruiting because
where do you get these guys from?
Well, obviously there's Facebook and word of mouth, but
yeah.
I loved going out with a handful of flyers, hitting bars, and we'd make 2 days of it.
Guys at a urinal fat and piss drunk.
Yeah,
that's
trying
to find the U's.
I took my story and built on it. I'm like, you know what? If it wasn't for that flyer, I wouldn't have joined. So I'm like, I'm going to do the same thing. So we hit every Nice and Easy, every pizza place, every bar, and everywhere. We hit all of Oneida County.
That's awesome.
And we get shit-faced drunk. we had a DD.
Yeah. Come here, you son of a bitch. Let me tell you why you need to be my linebacker.
But it was the same spiel. We'll have a Bud Light, and can I put this flyer up in your men's bathroom, please? That was it.
That's
yes.
awesome.
And it worked out great. We had a huge roster. He originally wanted to cut us off at a certain amount. I'm like, why would you do that? Guys, guys move. Guys get another job. Guys leave their girlfriend. I mean, stuff happens. Guys get injured. Well, I go, we need as many players as we can.
Have a surplus, yeah.
So we had a huge roster. Again, another great team. Great athletes. It was just beautiful. We went dressed the first game of the year into Watertown with 87 guys dressed.
Man.
That was insane.
That's a big team. So the NFL is 52, right? 52-man roster.
53-man roster.
53.
You're allowed to keep, 58?
Yeah.
So
that's crazy. That's a lot of guys. But that's good. Like you said, God forbid something happens, you have a bunch of injuries occur, and you're just pulling guys like, yeah, he showed potential. Come here.
Right.
Like, that's awesome.
So in the league says you can sign new guys up to week 7, and I was he wanted to cut it off right as the season starts. I'm like, no, I go because guys out in the stands who see regular Joes playing, they want to join, and that's happened many times. So we kept recruiting you keep recruiting all throughout the year.
So this is the Utica Air Ducks 2011.
Yes.
All right, and you said you heard stories. Don't trust this guy. I immediately heard.
Well,
that's
so
an inclination of something, right?
So we're killing it.
Yeah.
We're 8-2.
Nice
to finish the season.
Nice.
We lost to the same damn team twice. They were on a goddamn what's kind of Maryland wing tee or something like that. I can't remember the fucking name of it. But it's my nemesis. My fucking nemesis. It was really multiple meetings with other. I would to beat this team. I went to Ilion to talk with their coaches because they ran that similar style of offense, and they're like, well, this is what we have the hardest time defensive against, and sitting with my players and we're brainstorming and coming up with special plays, and it's just, some of it worked, some of it didn't.
It's called a Maryland wing tee.
And it wasn't Maryland. It's
Baltimore.
I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's a version of wing tee.
Huh.
And it's
oolong.
It is a thing of beauty. It really is. Once you get everybody on the same page, it's a gorgeous offense because you have no idea where the ball is.
Yeah,
you don't until the guy springs out open, which always happens. I mean, seriously, their drives would consist of 180-yard play, touchdown.
Man,
they're on defense.
Wow. So they just like clockwork. They were running this.
Yeah. They were just killing teams. They were scoring average 35 points a game.
What makes it so special? Is it hard to pull off because you need like a really fast player in the corners, or I don't know what kind of defense strategy you're talking about.
Well, no, I'm just talking about their offense. Their offense was just gorgeous.
So additionally, they were just unstoppable.
Yeah, they had great athletes.
That combination.
Yeah,
okay, that's crazy.
We came close. We held them to what was it? 17. We held them to 17 points when they were averaging for the previous 4 years of them running this offense or whatever. They were averaging 34, 35 points a game.
Yeah, so they're dominant.
When they got beat, the one team figured it out. You know what? They're going to score 34, 35 points a game. Let's score 36.
Oh,
that's it. The other team didn't even worry about defense. They just let's figure out their defense and beat them offensively.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
That's clever.
Yeah.
So you've had 7 years of coaching at this point, and you guys are kicking ass. You make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, we made it to the playoffs. We won first round. This is where.
Yeah,
so
that.
So
I'm trying to revert it back to that guy.
Back to the owner. All right.
Back
so
to that guy.
We go 8-2. Playoffs are coming up. We got a home playoff game. He fires the whole coaching staff and folds the team.
You as well.
Yeah, you're all fired. You're not welcome back. We're folding the team.
Why?
We're like, but we have a playoff game.
Yeah.
So
the owner has a team that's doing well.
Once again, we put our heads together and we have a team meeting and we say, guys, we don't have a field. We're all fired. Team's folded, but we have a playoff game. So we made a few phone calls. So now we can't. Our home field was Proctor at the time.
Mm-hmm.
We made a few phone calls. We got a field out in Oneida.
Mm-hmm.
And, but we don't have any money. So, I chipped in $100. Another guy one guy chipped in $400. Now players are chipping in money. We're paying for the field all on our own.
Wow.
Yeah. So the owner comes back and he's like, "What are you guys doing? We've got contractual agreements." What?
What?
What are you talking about? You just fired us and folded the team. It's like, are you high?
Yeah, what the fuck?
He found out what we were doing, and it's like, dude, we've got a playoff game. We can't just fold.
Contractual agreements to do what?
With sponsors
fold?
and whatnot. So next thing I know, because I don't want to mention any sponsors' names, but next thing you know, at our playoff game, he shows up with the sponsor. They're setting up a tent and they're selling pizzas.
What?
And that pizza place's mascot is out there, and
what?
Yeah. I'm like, dude, you're taking. What are you doing?
This guy
here?
sounds like a fucking Looney Tune. So
he basically took all. You know what? I at the beginning of the year, this is the most scumbaggy thing I've ever seen. At the beginning of the year, he set a price of like $75 to join the team.
Okay.
The first day, the first guy that comes up to some, we had a signing day. The first guy that comes up hands him a $100 bill, and instead of making change, he just changed the price of registration right there to $100.
Wow.
I was like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "I've been telling guys $75."
Wow.
It's like this guy is.
When you
write that in there. I knew I was in for
right.
for a
I was
loop.
just gonna say now the disbanding of the team and then wanting to get in on some profits doesn't seem so crazy.
Yeah.
So he literally said, "We're done." And then when you fixed it, he's like, "What the fuck? What are you doing? We're not done."
Yeah, we're contract.
Was he trying to pull it off like a joke? Like,
No.
I was joking.
No, that's
How
all.
did he?
It was the weirdest thing ever. I can't speculate on what he may have done with team monies. I can't get into any of that. I just know what I know, and it's just like, yeah, you're fired. We're done.
Okay. All right. So you can insinuate a few things from that. That's crazy, man.
Without
Yeah.
I don't want to
Without
slander.
being
I
in
don't want to
his
slander
mind, yeah.
or whatever. It is what it is. But
Damn. Okay. So did you manage to get the field though? And how did you?
we got the field. We won the playoff game, 42-6.
Damn.
We killed them.
So you have a real Phoenix attitude here, rising from the ashes every time.
Yeah,
That's fucking awesome, bro.
Dude, my best performances are under pressure.
Oh yeah.
When somebody's throwing something in your face, and that's why I'm a great computer tech.
Yeah.
Is because somebody gives me a problem, I got to fix it.
Yeah.
I'm so used to doing that.
Yeah.
And not losing my shit.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. Some people will get backed into a corner like that, or likely to collapse.
There's
and you're fighting
no
back.
quit. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
So we won that, and then we make it to the conference championship the next week, and then we lose.
Okay. So you're
To
getting
the
close.
same team that beat me twice before.
Oh, fuckers. Oh, man. That's bittersweet. At least you made it, but you lost.
We got halfway out there, and my buddy goes, because now, especially playoffs time, league rules are you have to have your license on you.
Okay.
So we can verify your roster to licenses.
Yeah.
And because some teams would sneak new players on for
Like
playoffs.
Like a semi-pro, like a driver's license?
Yeah,
Or-
driver's license.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
some teams would sneak new players
and
on
they
for
compare.
playoffs.
Okay.
To have a better advantage. So my buddy I'm driving with, he goes, "I left my ID at home." So we got to turn around, drive back, because it's probably an hour and 10. So we got to turn back around and to go back to Utica, get his license, head back out. My last game coaching that year, and I didn't even get to give a pregame speech or anything because I got there just before national anthem.
Man, that's too bad.
So at that point, with that whole ownership deal and all the stress of that year, I both the offensive coordinator and I stepped down for a couple of years, and then I got back in. I did D coordinator and head coached again back in 2014.
For the Yard Dogs game.
It was a new owner, Yard Dogs DAWGS this time.
Okay. Dog?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Dog?
It was it was a little different. I had a good core group of guys.
Yeah.
We did we make the playoffs? We did great.
Yeah.
We did okay. I think 7-3. I can't remember.
Was that your last year coaching?
Last full year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, no, we didn't make the playoffs. We did not. I think we only won 4 games, now that I think about it. Yeah. My last 2 games were I won, what was it? I pitched a shutout. Was it 13-0?
Mm-hmm.
And then that was a home game. And then the next week we had the team that always waxes our ass. And we couldn't get a guarantee on if we were going to have enough guys to go. And I still wanted to play it. My call was to play the game. The owner made the final decision to cancel it, so we lost 2-0. So my last 2 games were shutouts.
Oh,
one I coached, one I didn't. So, yeah, that's the thing with semi-pro is just, if you don't go, you lose 2-0, and that's it. You get a little fine, but the owner was okay to pay it rather than get guys hurt, which,
makes sense.
I'm a competitor. No, it doesn't make sense.
No.
I'm a competitor. No, I don't care how bad we're going to get killed. You still show up. You still take your lumps, and you get through it.
Yeah, man. That's a good attitude to have. Wow, so that's quite a story, man. It's
and then 2015, new owner, same team, but we just recruiting. There was no numbers. There was no numbers. We made it a couple of weeks into training camp, and we just couldn't go on.
Now the Yard Dogs still exist, though, don't they? 'Cause they were playing at the Squid.
They were Yard Dogs last year. They made the playoffs. I have nothing to do with the team. I can only report what I see online.
Right.
They're the Mohawk Valley Nighthawks now.
Oh, so they're again switching back.
Yes.
So what is it that keeps making these transitions happen? That's what I was wondering. Who sponsors these teams? How do they become
how
composed?
you go out and you just say, hey, we'll if you want to sponsor our team, we'll put up a billboard and make announcements over the PA for you.
So you're basically whoever's one person in general for each one of these team occurrences has just gone out, acquired sponsors, and then is willing enough to pay the coaching staff.
Well, it never got paid. It was all volunteer.
Was all volunteer work.
I 100% volunteer all the time.
That's another question I had. Is that do you get nobody gets paid in this league?
I occasionally got a free beer.
Ooh.
When we played a team in Montreal, one of their sponsors was Budweiser. We got 2 free cases.
Oh, nice!
When I was playing,
this is worth the heartache.
that was a cool game. I hate reliving stuff. I'm not a live in the past kind of guy. But we only got across the border with 17 guys, so I played both ways that day. And
that's what she said.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Gotta use this pen more often. Do it quick.
So that was cool. That's one of those.
That is cool.
One of those awesome stories. And we were only down 7-0 at half, and then we lost 34-7. At the end of the game, we were just, dude. You got 17 guys playing Iron Man.
Yeah, man. It's exhausting.
And I was so tired and so sore, but that beer helped.
Oh, this is when you actually played.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We had, remember Rex Grossman, the quarterback?
Yeah.
His cousin was our athletic trainer.
Oh, really?
That season.
Did you meet Grossman?
I did not.
Oh, that'd be cool.
But he went on to have a great career in college. Doing athletic training. So I miss that guy. He was best trainer we ever had, man.
Yeah.
He could tape.
Yeah.
I was a goddamn mummy.
Yeah.
Pre-game.
I can't feel anything. It's perfect. Yeah. That's funny, man. So same thing. So the person who's starting these teams and coordinating all the coaching staff and everything, they're the ones that are also acquiring fields and training facilities.
Yep, that's basically it. I mean, you can either assign somebody to do it, or or do it yourself. And I did everything. Throughout my career.
That's awesome.
In fact, the last thing I never did wasn't until 2015. One of my former teammates passed away.
That's too bad.
So a couple other guys. Now at this point, I'm wicked bummed out. I want nothing to do. The team just folded, and he just died. So I want nothing to do with anything. And a couple other guys said, "Hey, we want this to happen. We want a benefit game to happen. Will you
Help.
run it.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, somebody make the, another buddy of mine made the call to the league to get the insurance, because insurance is big. Without insurance, we can't even get a field.
Right.
So he made the call to get the field. After that, took it and ran with it, and we raised, a few grand for the kids for college, 529s.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we got we got about $4,000.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was our goal was only like 1,000 each.
Yeah.
Our goal was 2, so we got 4.
Yeah. That's awesome, because in
Yeah.
instances like that, the family has immediate things that need to be taken care
Right.
of as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
So,
So-
you guys pulled together so quick. That's awesome.
The only thing I hadn't done up until that point was contact the referees. So that was the last, check off the boxes. I had to deal with the referees. My buddy, my head coach, Mike, always handled that, 'cause he's a referee.
Right.
That's what he does. Now, so excuse me.
I know these cores get you burpy. I'm
Right.
realizing I need to switch, dude. Every episode, I'm always leaning to the side burping.
So, oh my God. So, I got sponsors, and other guys helped out. They got sponsors. We had a fundraiser at another pizza place, and, we got jerseys at a deal, and it was everybody really stepped up. I wanted, I've said it a million times, but thank you to everybody who helped out. That was a great, turned out to be a great game. Kind of crappy weather, rained, but everybody had fun. I played at 40 years old football again.
So when was it? So this just happened.
Yeah, it was
2015. You said.
Yeah, 2015. It was all the old Mohawk Valley Viking players. So we're all in our late 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
Versus anybody who played on any of the other teams.
Really?
The Titans, the Yard Dogs, the Yard Dogs,
Dog.
the Rome Rampage. So all of them, all those squads versus
All
us.
the old teams you were also a part of, though. So you
Yeah,
probably,
so
did you know a lot of the guys in?
I knew. Yeah, if there might have been like one guy I didn't know.
Yeah.
Because I had been
That's
a part of
awesome.
it forever.
That's awesome.
Basically 16 years of coaching and playing.
Yeah.
So, and the old guys we got our asses handed to us.
Yeah.
We
Still went out there again.
We
though.
talked up such a big game, man. I mean,
That
we
sucks.
really had it. From what I hear, we really got to the young kids. They were getting scared, from what I hear. But they waxed that ass.
Oh man,
We got killed. It was bad.
That sucks, dude. That's so funny. But at least you went back out there.
Yeah, dude. I wasn't going to make a fool of myself.
Yeah.
I got really ready. Now, I've been going to the gym since 2000.
Yeah.
So I was already in okay shape, but I really hit the weights big for this.
Yeah.
I got 2 months to prepare.
Yeah.
That's plenty.
Uh-huh.
All right. So I got jacked.
I'm not tearing no muscles out
No,
there.
right? And I did great.
Yeah.
I did great. And those motherfuckers, all the little dirty tricks I taught my D linemen to do against O linemen, especially against the center. I loved beating up on centers, slapping their hands and hooking them and whatnot. They were doing all that shit to me. How you like that now?
Yeah.
I'm like, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
My hands are fucking bleeding because of these assholes.
Padawan becomes
Yeah.
the Jedi, bro. That's
Right.
what happened. Oh man, that's cool. So I wanted to bring up this point, and I don't try to hammer on the fact too hard, but I do like to reiterate the theme of this podcast. And I was talking about this to my buddy Kevin. He was on episode 2 about how he's a power lineman, and he doesn't just take that for a job. He uses it as an all-encompassing force. He goes to educational classes and learns more. He appreciates every city he's in and all the experiences. And there's a lot of similarities to what you're saying, man, because you played in high school. You had that drive. You came back and you said, you know what, I'm not going to half-ass it. And there you go, putting in the work and not just becoming a player, but becoming like a team captain, guiding your other linemen, and then becoming a line coach, then a D-line coach, then a coordinator. And just you kept wanting to learn and grow. And like you knew this was not a one-stop shop. You kept going.
I'm an old-fashioned work your way up the ladder.
Yeah.
Nothing
And that's
gets
what
handed
we
to
see
you.
in this story. It's awesome.
Yeah. I always tried to make, I'm old school that way. I always tried to make my practices harder than games. That way, when it came game time, you're like, oh, this is easy.
Yeah.
I tried to make practices really hard. Just because games, I want you to be prepared for the worst.
Yeah.
Really.
Absolutely. And especially in a sport like that, if you aren't coming out there the toughest, a tougher guy can really do some damage to you nonetheless, And then try dealing with that for 4 quarters. So
we had film on teams, but that, again, this is semi-pro. Just because a guy doesn't show up for one game doesn't mean he won't be back there the next, at another game.
Right.
So it's like, you couldn't, as a coach, you couldn't say, okay, well, they got number 78, 59, 43, and whatever on the O-line.
Right.
When next week it's fucking, 88 is 72, 60, 65.
Yeah.
They're all over the place. So you can't, trying to teach technique against another individual guy was really hard because you didn't know who you had to go off the scheme.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome though, dude. It's pretty inspiring just to hear somebody who had such almost a lifetime long passion and how it led you through all these different stages, learning how to pretty much recreate a whole team in like a week because you have a playoff game,
Yeah.
That's a lot of tenacity, a lot of drive, a lot of passion for what you do. And it didn't stop there because I know you got coaching. And then, so like you said, we worked together and I had been thinking about doing a podcast for like a year and a half, 2 years now. And you introduced me to the first podcast I've ever actually been on. And that's for the Disruption Network. And I'd mentioned it earlier in the show. They're a local media outlet and they have a lot of podcasts pertaining to football, wrestling, local business and news, things like that. And so you invited me on to speak on the D-line.
Yeah. Yep.
D-line available during the regular season and playoffs of football. Thursdays 6 to 8.
During the season, yeah.
During the season, yeah. So you invited me on. It was a great time, man. Just having that kind of good discussion with people who understand the sport and all the intricacies of not just the playing, but the deals that go on throughout that. So how did you coaching and going through all this lead to you getting into the D-line at the Disruption Network?
So I've known Chicken since, the late 90s. Mm-hmm. And actually Chicken played a year with me in football.
Shout out to Mike Chicken O'Connor.
Yeah. He played a year of football with me too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So basically when I met Chicken, he was working for a radio show.
Okay.
And, I stopped over there to hang out on the radio show, and I got introduced to Chicken, and we both realized we're Bears fans. So basically, we started hanging out every Sunday, and love
it first sight. Those Bear fans,
just stare into the eyes and do the slow head turn, and then we go in for the kiss.
Yeah, and they just absorb each other's.
Right. So we started doing football Sundays, and honestly, I would only see Chicken during football season.
Yeah.
I had a family and whatnot, so I couldn't really hang out, and football going on. So just Sundays for Chicken for years. And it wasn't until he moved nearby my house that we really started hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
But, so we had been, you just sit around and you bullshit and you eat and you make fun of this and break balls on that. And we a few times he had said, I really wish we should record this, And so finally, 20 years later, Chicken gets his own podcast station, and he, runs it by his partner and put a sports show on. So yeah, we basically carried over our ball breaking and making fun of each other, and incorporated our love for football in it. It's a great show.
Yeah, it is.
I love it.
It's so much fun, man, and it's got a good flow to it. Like I said, because you have people on who understand football and as powerful fans, former players, people who really follow it, and that's like awesome on a local level.
With that, I try not to get too nerdy into it. I try not to do too much
you
research.
Are the stats guy.
I just because I try to treat it, we're average fans.
Yeah.
We are. We're not NFL players, so we don't know what it's like in the locker room. We don't know what the mindset of a head coach is in the NFL. We don't have any insight or background into NFL play whatsoever.
Right.
So I just try to keep it as a casual fan. I watch highlights of all the games, and I read some articles during the week. Nothing more than an average guy would do. An average guy will just watch his team and catch ESPN highlights. I watch the compressed, 12 to 13 minute videos on YouTube of NFL recaps, of each game.
Mm-hmm.
So I do a little more than the average guy does.
broader span of of
just so
research.
I kind of know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, enough for people to believe him. Like, man, where'd he get that shit from?
To me, it's more about I get the funny clips and trying to squeeze in a good joke here and there, and the beer helps all of it flow together when we're
Yeah.
it's perfect. And what's funny is you would think Caleb and I knew each other for years.
Yeah, you guys.
But I didn't meet Caleb till the first show.
Really?
Yeah, 5 minutes before the first show goes on. Hey, Caleb, Sil, Caleb. Hey, how's it going? And we just
hit it off.
Yeah, hit it off great. I looked at Chicken after the show. I go, we got to get him back. He was
a guest.
We got to make him a regular. If the first show, it's welcome to the D line with Chicken and Sil. Caleb got added the next week. We changed the intro the next week. I'm like, we're adding him, and we asked him, and he said, "Yeah, come on every week."
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's so cool, man.
Yeah.
So how did Caleb?
Right away.
How did Caleb know Chicken? They were just buddies.
Chicken's a bouncer at O'Donnell's.
Oh yeah,
as well. So and Caleb was a bartender there at the time.
Isn't he there today? Day drinking?
Who?
Chicken?
I don't know.
Might have to stop by.
I think he works there on Sundays now, bartending. So he wasn't bouncing last night.
I thought I saw him post something. Maybe I think it was today. I don't know. That's awesome, dude. That's so cool that you two just built that good camaraderie between you in one episode. And now it's a great show, man. Even when it's just you three and people can chime in on Facebook Live and have a funny conversation. The things you cover are, investing and interesting. And so I think that says a lot for the area. Because prior to meeting you, I didn't know anybody who even was on a podcast network or anything. Right. And I think we need to see more of that. And that's why I'm giving it a shot here, just kind of speaking about a message. And you knew you were so passionate about football and you wanted to, again, to do the work. And you did your own audio on it. The intro is original, and it's got your killer announcer voice. You got the best announcer voice.
They were like, "Look, you got to do some of the intro and do some commercials too and whatnot."
It's the D line.
Jesus Christ!
Do it. Say it's the D line. Come on.
No.
Oh man.
I don't get paid there either. That's the thing. I do a lot. I do a lot of stuff for free. You notice that?
What the fuck? Can I believe this guy? That's awesome. No, dude, it is a great show, though. And so that's really cool that you guys came together and are producing such good content like that.
Well, what's great is it spawned into a baseball show. Called The Baseline. And then there's a wrestling show called, they're going to kill me.
I know what it's called.
Poop.
It's called Poop.
No.
You can catch it Tuesdays.
Oh, my God.
I'm just kidding.
So, and then they're talking about doing an all-encompassing sports show where I would pop in on that on occasion, where it would just be like just like a panel of a basketball expert, a football expert, and just how each sport's doing and whatnot.
Just the summation.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think that's a great idea. You also got Ease Beats and Biz, right? That's the music.
EC Radio does local music, local businesses.
Okay.
What's hot in the town at the time.
Yeah.
And then there's Adeline's home show. Where, she's a realtor, and buying a home.
That's awesome,
dude. I totally recommend that. So yeah, there's a few shows on there.
Yeah, you guys have a whole. That's what is really interesting about the Disruption Network. It's a whole. You can find a lot.
DisruptionNetwork.net. Everybody.
Yeah,
we're on Facebook, Twitch.
You're on Twitch
Instagram.
as well now.
Yeah,
awesome.
They've been on Twitch. Yeah,
cool. So tomorrow is going to be my first premiere episode on Twitch, I believe, with my good pal Greg Jones. Another continuation of how sports guide us. He's going to be talking about his love of baseball and how he led his high school team that he coaches to the championship, I believe. Right?
Yep.
They won like 2 years ago.
I can't remember.
A couple years back, but hopefully we're going to get into that. Well, obviously we will. And so yeah. Anyway, I just tangented pretty. You know what?
I'm thirsty. I want a beer. What about you?
I do not want another one.
I don't got nothing to do today.
Yeah, no, the wife took the kids down to Binghamton. So I'm going to meet up with a couple of buddies, come over to the house. We're going to have a few beers, play some Nintendo.
Nice.
And see where that leads us.
A new Nintendo or old?
Switch.
The Switch?
Yeah.
I just played that for the first time yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yep.
The Mario Kart on there?
Yep.
But like with the mini remotes?
Dude,
I
got the big $60 version.
Here's how I described it. all right, so anybody who doesn't play the Switch, you get like you can pop one side off, and it's just you use one half of the actual big remote.
Right.
Is its own remote. You just tilt it sideways. I go, dude, this thing fucking sucks. It's like I'm holding it like a little secret.
Yep.
Like you're just like, oh, come here, you little motherfucker. Come on, let's go. It's like I'm like so trying to. I'm like pushing on it really hard.
The world's teeniest BlackBerry, and you're trying to do a text message on
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And you're like, fucking mother, got you. And I'm like getting angry like this. It's ridiculous, but it was fun. Those are pretty cool systems.
I'm, probably bicep deep into Zelda right now. You know?
The new one?
Yeah.
Didn't they remake Ocarina of Time or something?
I think they did, but I'm doing Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
And, I got my own game going. My 6-year-old son's got his game, so
Nice.
when I'm not playing, I'm helping him with his.
That's awesome. My dad was neither of my parents were very big into video games as a kid. I was kind of my own endeavor, because I had an older brother and younger sister. Same. I was the only one who really nerded out on the video games, so I hope to one day have that camaraderie with my son. And it's cool that you do, like you're just sharing that moment and that.
It's so weird because, I don't want to be friends with him. I'm his dad.
Right.
I'm his dad. I've always felt that way. I don't have to be friends with you. I've got to,
Right.
You're my responsibility.
Yeah.
I've got to raise you. And, I find myself saying things my dad used to say. I find myself saying things I said as a coach, because he's competitive as hell.
Is he?
Oh,
I have no idea where he would get that from.
God, he's awesome. Dude, perfect example of drive and the Cilbrith clan. All right. Was it last year? My son does this thing called the turkey trot at his school. It's a 1 mile lap around the school grounds, right, for each grade. So he was in kindergarten last year. He's got to run a mile, right? I ran it with him, and we didn't train that much, but he's always been able to run forever.
He's got energy.
Yeah, he's wicked energy. We would where I live on a dead end street, we walk up and down it or jog up and down it, and he goes with me. So we did the run last year, and midway through, he's like, "Daddy, I'm tired." I go, "Come on, keep going, keep pushing." And I see a kid ahead of us, and I'm like, "Reed, do you know that kid?" "No." But he's really little. I think he's in kindergarten. And so he's ahead of us. So he starts walking. I'm like, "Oh, there's our chance. Reed, push it. Let's go." So I'm coaching him on. "Let's go. Come on, push it, man. Keep going. Right? We're running together, and we get first place for kindergartnens.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was great. It was
awesome.
really great.
He will hold on. I remember things from when I was that little.
So basically, I go, "Reed, do you see? Don't give up.
Yeah.
No matter what.
He's gonna hold on to that.
Don't give up."
That is awesome, dude.
So I think he learned a big lesson last year with that.
That is a good quality to instill in kids, though. Like some people are like,
just because it's hard, don't give up.
Oh yeah, exactly, and that's one of the big things that gets me these days. Parents are like, "Oh, it's too hard for him. Let's just get him to do something else or something like that." There's a lot of cop outs,
right?
Is what I mean.
Through my whole story, there was none of that.
No,
it's just
we
got a problem.
You
we keep going.
Yeah,
let's get through it. We can get through it. It's a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they're for, to fucking solve.
Yeah, not to quit and walk around.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, dude, that's awesome, man. Oh, wait.
What are we doing? It's a little thing they invented back in the 60s called jogging. You're going to love it. Come on.
Dude, would you hit it perfectly?
I know.
That's awesome.
That's a good one, right? Die Hard, dude. Oh, that's good.
That's like I could have told a better story.
I know
I really could.
That was so locked and loaded, and I only have
You'll never use that again.
I only have like 10 clips locked and loaded on here. And I don't know how you tied it into running.
You will never ever use that again.
No, I couldn't. I've been waiting for it.
I hope last week's guest wasn't like a fucking Olympian because I don't want to have to follow
no,
that up.
no,
fucking come from behind gold medal story.
Week 1, we did have Adam Levine on the show.
Oh wow.
No, not really. My buddy Matt. I told him every episode until he comes on again, I'm going to tell everybody because he looks like Adam Levine's 6th cousin, probably. He's got the hair and So I just every episode I got to make the shout out. He watches them all. So
Are we
he's
on
gonna
camera too?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Jeez, I saw it, but I'm like, I didn't realize we were actually recording.
Yeah, it's just like a profile shot of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that going online too?
Yeah.
All right.
All in one, bro.
Awesome.
Yeah. And it looks good in here. We got some natural light. It really brings out.
Yeah, I like the science. It's
Yeah,
pretty
those are cool.
Where'd you get that?
That poster?
Yeah.
That I want to say I got at either Alfred State when I was at college or like Rainbow Zen or one of those two. But it's pretty cool. So it's kind of hard to see on the picture, but it's like every artist who's ever played at, I forget what theater it is. I looked it up before when I looked up the poster. But these are all people who actually perform there, most of which are.
Oh, it's the one in Florida, isn't it? Isn't it? Oh Christ!
I forget. I don't know where it is, but I know
my
the name
buddy
of it.
Lance. Freaking, that's all he talks about. Now I'm going blank.
Yeah. We're trying to figure this out. Look at Bob Marley up above him on the left. Who's that with the crazy hair and the sangria and the cigarette?
That's Ozzy Osbourne.
No, I don't. Is it supposed to be Ozzy?
Yeah.
That's what I said, but my buddy didn't believe me.
Yeah.
You can see their little caricature, like Steven Tyler right there and Axl Rose.
Yeah.
And I thought it was Ozzy too.
Yeah, that's Ozzy.
Yeah, definitely. They should have put the shades on him, but whatever.
But I maybe made the hair a little more frizzy. Might have done it.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I thought it was Janis Joplin on drugs.
Same thing.
Same thing. They're the same person. Yeah. So, speaking of football, I've been watching some crazy shit going down on the mainstream in terms of NFL deals and a CFL rejection and things like that.
Yeah, I was. My biggest pet peeve is with people who want to get the news out.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Schefter.
Oh my God.
Pushes out the story the other day that Antonio Brown has been traded to the Bills.
Yep.
And then what do we see last night?
So this is like I think 8:00 at night is when I start seeing him coming in.
The trade is not happening. Well, it's like he would rather have gotten it out first than correctly.
Yeah.
Wait another day.
Yeah.
Get all the facts.
I almost wonder if that was a ploy by some of Antonio Brown's people to really fuck that guy over, because he's always the Johnny on the spot trying to be first in line for the story.
Well, it's not the first time in the past few months he's
Right.
done it. I hate the fact that they want to get it out just because it's first, and they'll issue a retraction later. Oh, I'm sorry. No, dude.
Personally,
be right in the first place.
If I was Antonio Brown's like publicist, I would have leaked that out and they're like, hey, he's going to the Bills, and then. How many times it's like Boy Who Cried Wolf? How many times are you gonna listen to Adam Schefter be wrong before you don't want to fucking hear him anymore?
I don't listen to
nobody wants to listen to him anymore. If I was in that industry, I would be doing the same shit. Trickle down some false leads and let him get in trouble, and everybody be like, all right, screw this guy.
But he'll still have a job,
Oh, yeah.
and just because of the occasional nugget he gets right.
Yeah.
That's what's bad. It's like he's worse than
he's overpaid
basically
paparazzi.
a weatherman.
Yeah.
Because they're right half the time.
Yeah. There's a 50-50 chance it's already raining outside. No, that's funny.
If we did that at our job, we would have been fired years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no wiggle room for what we do.
Usually in society, if you lie or produce false news, that's a no-no, but not in the NFL's world, apparently. But anyway, what do you think AB is going to land? I have two answers.
I'm just hoping not in the North. I really,
You
not
wanna go
in
down
the
South
NFC North.
Yeah.
Not in the NFC North.
Oh, the NFC North, yeah.
That's it.
Although the Packers, I hear, are checking him out.
I just saw that they haven't really put out any feelers for
See,
him.
that's what I mean. There's a lot of stories floating around with such a big talent like Antonio Brown.
Because of Adam Schefter, every story I read, I'm like, did that really happen now?
Garbage, yeah.
Yeah, because of him, I wonder everything. I mean, are the Packers putting out false information, and are they really checking him out and putting out false information that they're not?
Excuse me.
I don't know. The Bills make probably a good place for him to go, but that's not happening just because he'd go to die. Seattle's only got 4 picks. They ain't trading much this year.
Yeah.
So they need some wide receiver help.
I think San Francisco has been making a pretty good run at it.
That's a possibility as well. Yeah,
and maybe Oakland, but I think Oakland. Personally, I think Oakland is trying to get Le'Veon Bell.
Did you see you cannot buy an Antonio Brown Raiders jersey?
You can't.
They won't let on NFLshop.com. They won't let you buy. I don't know why. Why? You can customize your own jersey, but somebody tried to do it.
You can't make an Antonio Brown Raiders jersey.
Number 84 Brown Raiders jersey. Can't do it.
Weird.
I know. Why would they stop that?
Nobody has that number, do they?
Not like they're asking for fucking Ray Rice or anything
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
You know, it's like
That's weird.
yeah.
Raiders or Steelers?
Raiders.
Why the Raiders? Why?
So Raiders are a possibility. Anyway,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
where you go back to your point.
Okay.
I was just
I see what you mean.
a little stupid Cilbrith segue.
Yeah, I don't know. Because there was that instance before where Jerry Rice was like, "Oh yeah, that's my man. We want to get him down here," and then he like met with him or something. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is a solid QB, even though he's overpaid for the few amount of games.
They've got draft picks.
He got draft picks.
They're looking to build the team for moving to Vegas. The Raiders make a
good
great play.
Plus, I don't know how much longer. I mean, Marshawn Lynch, don't get me wrong, is a quality running back, but not as he once was.
I think last year might have been his last.
You think
one.
you think he won't come back?
I don't
If he does, he'll do it like Marshawn Lynch way and wait like till like 2 weeks before the season starts to be like, I retire. So maybe that's why I think they might scout for Le'Veon. I don't know. Either one of them could land there. Those are two powerhouse weapons to have, and Gruden needs something right now to get everybody back on his team, because I'm sure quite a few people were questioning his tactics last year when he gave up the best, arguably one of the best defenders and one of the best wide receivers of the season.
Yeah, no. The Cowboys lucked. It got wicked.
Extremely lucky.
They got fucking better. Those ass. If that trade doesn't happen, the Cowboys are sniffing the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
I fucking hate how he turned that team around.
Yeah.
I don't like the Cowboys at all.
I know. I don't either, man.
You know, right now I'm dealing with the Bears may or may not be trying to trade Jordan Howard. So
really,
I'm dealing with that emotional roller coaster.
We
right
got
now.
Cohen, but you think they'll pick someone else up?
Well, this is what kills me. That I'm reading. I fucking hate articles.
Yeah,
but I read them. I have to read them. I have to,
because you never know which one is right. And then you're like, oh, that one was right.
I'm seeing AP may go to the Bears, and I'm like, how? All right, whatever. Ooh. I'm like,
Redskins made a big pickup last week. Case Keenum.
Oh, did they? I didn't even. You know what? I don't.
You didn't see that?
Ever since the show went off the air for a break, I've been taking a break.
Case Keenum to the Redskins. Let's hope he doesn't break his leg.
Did it happen already, or because free agency doesn't start till what, the 13th or something like that?
I don't know. I just said read that the Redskins acquire Case Keenum. One of them on Instagram. That's usually when I'll scroll by and see a picture of a player and then the new team that he's on.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, quite a few.
I would have done some studying had I known.
I know.
We're gonna do football time.
No,
I can get through the Antonio Brown thing just because I was mad at Adam Schefter again. But
no, I just think it's interesting. A lot of big plays, big acquisitions, and all that coming up. Joe Flacco to the Broncos, Nick Foles to the Jags. These are some potentially season-changing pickups,
dude. Especially for the Jags, but Nick Foles, or who was the other one they were looking at? They were moving on to
Christ?
Jay Christ, number 40. What's the other quarterback? I can't think of it. Never mind.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's okay. I need 7 more of these. Apparently.
Yeah.
Wow, it's only been an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've actually been keeping the last few to near an hour, but I think Jimmy's was like hour 20, something like that. So we can really end it whenever. But we would have had some good conversation. I don't see any point to stop. Because before I wanted a time limit almost, and then I'm like, just let the conversation flow.
Yeah. No, that's why I can get going. I left a lot out. There's a lot of good times I left off the table. And
what's right coming to your head right now?
Yeah, not a strip. What we didn't know was a strip club in Jamestown.
I gotta hear this.
$2 cover, $1 drafts for a strip club. Unbelievable.
What?
We stumbled upon it. It was.
What was it? Did it have some weird name?
It was. We were spending the night. We were just looking for a place to go out, and then and boom, we walk in. We find what's called Mondays.
Because they suck.
And, basically the reviews were, cheap drinks, good time. All right, so we go.
Okay.
And $2 cover, and there's a girl with tassels on her nipples dancing. I'm like, what did we just walk into?
Yeah.
And you get up to the bar, $1 drafts. I'm like, I look at my friend Big Johnny. I'm like, we're home. Yeah.
I've never felt so happy.
I know, right?
That's so
we just
great.
discovered uranium by accident.
Oh man, how are the ladies? Sometimes when you go to a hole in the wall like that, questionable.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Questionable.
So, but that was a good time.
That's awesome, man. See, I've had the polar opposite experience at most strip clubs. I went to the one in Times Square in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
It was called Cheetahs,
All right.
and it was an experience. $20 Bud Light bottles, $19 Bud Light bottle,
God.
$19 Bud Light bottle. Okay, and then we're sitting in this room, and it's like a little walk-in area, and there's like one girl there, and I'm like, she's just like walking around, and then all these people disappear behind this wall, and I'm like, oh, cool, hidden strip club, all right. So I walk around, and it's this huge open area, like a long, looking like a runway type stage, you know, and then like these little chairs. You sit down like it's a little lounge section, you know, your own area. We sit there, and this girl comes up. Hello, darling. Would you like me to dance for you? And I'm like, okay, clearly the fakest accent I've ever heard.
Oh
but
my goodness.
she goes, I thought she said like, do you want me to dance near you or whatever? I'm like, okay, sure. So she just starts dancing, right? And then she gets up and she goes, $20. Like loses the accent. She goes, $20. And I'm like, okay, I didn't realize that's what this was, you know? So then like a little bit later, another girl, they all had every one of them just made up a fake, cheesy, just so blatantly awful accent. And they were all like Eastern European or something like that. It was a weird place, dude. So I'm like, I'm just trying to baby this one beer because I'm not trying to empty the bank account in here.
Right, yeah.
My boys two of my buddies are over. And all right, to start this day, it was Saturday. I had breakfast. And my two buddies go, we should do something today. And we all just said, we should go to New York City. So we didn't even have a hotel or anything. We just drove there. We got a Holiday Inn above a fish market in Chinatown, which was just the best smell you could ever want to.
A fish.
It was rancid. I'm like, I don't even want to stay in this hotel room more than 5 seconds. So we go to Manhattan. First thing we ask the cab driver, where's the strip club? So we go there. This is probably like 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago now. And, so yeah, we're there. These girls are dancing. This other girl just comes over, and she doesn't even acknowledge me really, but just starts kind of dancing in my line of sight. And I'm like, okay, nice, I guess. And I go to stand up, and I go to leave because my buddies are like, we're leaving. So I'm like, okay, I fucking gotta go get my coat and everything at the check place, whatever. Go to stand up and leave. She grabs me by the wrist and goes, hey, that's $20. I'm like, what for what? Like, I was just sitting here, and she was just like, secretly, I don't know, just dance near me. Like, wasn't on me, but like near me in my vicinity. And I'm like, I don't like why, you know. And I don't even remember. I don't think I had cash. I definitely didn't have cash on me. So I was like, what are you talking about? And then like I go to like pull away, and like she won't let go of my hand. So I look back, and now there's like a 7-foot tall bouncer behind her.
Oh my God.
I was like, I just gotta go to the ATM. I just gotta get you 20. And they didn't have one in there, so I had to go down the street. Like 5 buildings, but as I'm looking behind me, there's like 7 big dudes outside.
Are you
now,
serious?
watching me, making sure I go to the place that they pointed at to go to the ATM.
Oh my God!
And I'm like, all right, this place is sketchy now. Like right in the heart of Manhattan or Times Square and everything. And I'm like, this is a sketchy place. So I just ran back. I was like, here's $20. Give me my coat back. I'm out of here.
Right.
My buddies had left me. They're like 5 blocks up the street. And I'm like,
goodness.
it was a crazy experience. So I've had polar. You loved your experience. I hated it. So
I'm like, we all got those buddies who run right up to the main floor or the dance floor and get the lap dances and all. Yeah, making it rain.
yeah.
I'm gonna hang back at the bar and check out the whole scenery.
Yeah.
I don't do the whole separate room stuff. And I'm there for the good time.
Yeah.
And I'm a watcher.
I'm there for the story. Yeah, people watcher for sure.
Yeah.
I love. That's probably fucked up. I love going there and just looking at the guys there and being like, what do you do? Like I like picture them. I'm like, what do you do for a living? Why are you here? Like what? Like these sad older guys.
You try and break down everybody.
Yeah. I'm like assessing them as a person. I'm like, am I gonna be you in the future? Like this is fucked. Oh, that's funny, man. Yeah. Wow. What a crazy story. I don't know how we got on that, but
because it just it's funny stories from playing football.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
there was a lot of crazy parties. Went to one party where the kitchen table ended up out in the fire pit, and
I'm sure they were pumped.
Well, dude, he let it happen. I don't know. It's like
crazy. I've been to some parties like that, man.
So I'll have friends forever from football, and
Yeah.
and that's probably the biggest benefit. I don't care. I got paid in friendship, and
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'll have relationships for a lifetime.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's cool because another thing is I feel like a lot of people are really hesitant to put work into something that you're not getting financial gain from or anything like that. But you got so much emotional, like mental, physical gain from it. You know, you're always in shape. You're learning the different aspects of the game. Now you understand football on a more fundamental level, and you got tight with the coaches, the players. You learn from both sides of the ball. Excuse me. So it's really awesome. I don't know, man. I think that's a great underlying theme for the episode is like, don't give up on your shit, and like, don't just be looking to be financially like profit financially from it or anything like that. Look at the subsurface at what you're getting out of this. In 30 years from now, maybe you have some of the closest friends ever. Maybe you have those memories, those experiences. I mean, the fact that you remember these games and how much you're winning by, losing by, and how that started and the plays that you
my
did.
memory is terrible. I got lucky.
But you remember, I mean, I'm sure these don't help, but you remember the important things because they meant something to you.
Oh, yeah.
You have that emotional attachment to it.
Yeah. If you
powerful.
love something, do it right.
Yeah.
You know, my fucking dad, he's like, if you're going to do something, don't half-ass it. You know, as my dad said. And as a kid, that never really set in until I was met with obstacles to overcome.
Yeah.
And on a consistent basis. And it really, it was a perfect fucking 2010 was the perfect season.
Yeah.
That made me it took me from basically a rookie coach to a veteran coach all within a few months. I mean, really, it really, I grew up. I may have been like fucking 30 some odd years old, but I was probably a 60-year-old man by the time.
Like mentally. Yeah. That's awesome.
It was a great experience. I loved it. I loved those guys. I loved everything about it, so.
Yeah, dude, that's powerful. I mean, a lot of people don't even think of football or sports being as something that could be that powerful and motivating in life, and you're like, it's a perfect example of how it can be. And I think it kind of provides perspective into and that's kind of interesting. I'm even realizing as I'm having different people on, like my buddy Matt, who is into motocross and all the injuries and things he's overcome, and you and all the adversity and things that you had to overcome. And Greg, he's gonna be talking about a story with baseball tomorrow. It's so awesome to see people give their perspective on even just a local level of how a sport can be such a driving force in your life. Because like locally, you don't see or hear like everybody. If you're in a school of 100, which is a lot of the schools in the local area, you're not thinking, oh, I'm gonna get a scholarship out of high school and go to freaking D1 college or do well. But that doesn't have to be your story. You can go play semi-pro football and make yourself some out of it and love and appreciate it. And that's what people need to hear, man.
You get out of something what you put into it.
Yes,
I really feel that,
and people need to hear that. Like I don't think kids need to always look up to professional football players, celebrities, and all that.
I agree with you.
You need to look up to people who have just gone through the trenches and the shit, and now they're on the other side, smelling like a rose and happy with where they are and what they've learned. And and like I said, it doesn't always have to be the get rich quick scheme.
Right.
Like if you love something, do the fucking work. Stay on it. Go through your every day working harder than the next person who's right behind you. Like those are the messages I hope people hear.
You can have a 9-to-5 job and have a family and feed your competitive spirit.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
You got to work for it.
You got to
you got to work. You got to work at your relationship with your wife.
Mm-hmm.
You got to work staying focused on your job, and you got to work at whatever sport or hobby you're doing.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to have a hobby.
Yes.
And my hobby for 16 years was football.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's He-Man.
Yeah.
And video games.
That's awesome, dude. No, I totally agree. You can't just let life absorb you. And I've mentioned that before. Like you can't just do you can't only live for the weekends just so you could do mundane things. Does that make sense? Like
I've heard that, but you know what? I've heard that don't work for the weekend. Why not?
I mean, yeah.
I see. That's the thing. I love what I do. I love fixing computers. I have a job so I can go hang out and drink beer with my friends.
Yeah.
Pay my bills, take care of my family.
Right.
All that stupid shit. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
But it's like I get the whole bigger goal for yourself kind of thing.
Yeah.
But if you like what you're doing,
right?
Why don't you do it?
Well, I think a lot of people don't
like
what they're doing. That's what I mean.
Okay, yeah, that's where I'm like, okay, well, if you're working for the weekend at a job you hate, okay, fine.
Yes.
It's like with Chicken. Chicken hated working for the company he worked for, so he started his own broadcast company in Utica.
Yeah.
He took that leap, and now he's doing something he loves.
Yeah, exactly.
Great, awesome. I support him. I'm part of that network team now. Dude, everybody should do that.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't just settle for complacency. And
Right.
a lot of people get scared by that. Like I've said that before. It's a scary thought to just pack up and go do something else.
It is. You got to take that fucking leap.
Comfort is nice,
Right.
but damn,
Right.
you'll look back, and if you didn't take all those steps and go invest in yourself and what you wanted to do at early on, you'd be fucking here miserable.
This loops us all back around to my original point.
Yeah,
Regret.
yeah,
Regret
no regrets.
Sucks.
No regrets. I got a tattoo right there. It's my first tattoo, man. It doesn't say Rugrats either.
No,
or regrets.
regrets. That's a great way to end the show, right? Just to loop back around to the original message.
You know what? This is my outro baseline, and we can just talk it out, dude. I appreciate you coming on, John.
Thanks for having me.
Killer story. And I like having people on because I don't even know these fine details, and I knew that you had played semi-pro football, but it's awesome to hear that.
There's so much I left. I can't. There's no way I can jam 16 years into an hour and a half conversation.
Part 2, dude. Absolutely, we will have you on for a part 2, man, for sure. This has been fun. Again, thank you so much to everybody who's been watching and supporting me, and I've heard nothing but such good feedback every day from people. I think my first episode's up to almost 200 views, and that might not sound like a lot, but for me, it's important and significant, and that means that people are listening to my message and they believe in it, and that there's something good coming out of this, and that people are getting something out of these episodes and these discussions. And I think it is that you're getting messages from people just like you about how life can suck, but you can overcome it if you follow your dreams, follow what you love, do the good things that you think are good to you. That's just, a couple of the cliche messages to pass across, I would say.
It is, but it works.
It works, yeah. So, John, thank you again for coming by. Everyone, follow on Facebook. I'm going to be posting tonight. Finally, I've been trying to get to it. Some Instagram thumbnails so you guys can kind of get the highlights of the show, things like that. Again, we're on YouTube. Thank you so much for all the support. If you want the audio-only version, it's available on SoundCloud. Those will be available. They're all available about an hour or two after each episode. So, and like I said, tomorrow I'm going to have my good buddy Greg Jones on. We're going to be going live on Twitch for the first time, and I'll be sending out links on all the social media platforms that I have so that people can easily find it and get a hold of me. And like I said, again, if anybody has any ideas or anything they want to share, stories, email me at lostguidancepodcast@gmail.com. And most importantly, try not to get lost out there. All right. Thanks, buddy.